Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is a class of IST-151, chapter 4. As you know, students, this is a part of Mazun College contribution of e-learning, and we are delivering our lectures and our courses to our students wherever they are. In this chapter, we are going to learn what is a database. We are going to learn a database, and always we heard about database, is it? So what is a database? In your opinion, what is a database? Just take a second and think. You heard a database, everything is a database, and everywhere you heard this word. But what does it mean? What is a database? How we are managing databases. So database is just nothing but stores. It's just, you can consider it like a warehouse. You are storing things inside that warehouse. So again, database is just like a store where you are storing your information, your data. This database has been organized, or it will be organized and managed by something called database management system, or DBMS. What is a DBMS? DBMS is just database is a collection of records. Database management system is managing, adding, removing, updating records, retrieve the data from with a certain criteria. For example, if I tell, just give me all the employees who has been employed within 2019. So I will get only that kind of information that is by a certain criteria. It's called a questionnaire or a cross reference data to different tables. Perform a complex aggregate calculations also. Database consists of columns and rows. That is database table. It's just rows and columns. A database, various separate sheet, easy manipulate of data. We are going to learn. If you see here, what is this is just, this is a table in database. If you see author of books, which is ISBN, this is just a unique title of the unique edition of the book. Title of the book, author ID, that means this ID or this author, it may have more than one book or more. So the author name, telephone number, public ID, and the publication name, or also publication telephone number, and the price of and each book. If you see here, this is just for a single book. What if I have thousands of books? It's just 10 of them for a single user. Do we need to create for a single author, do we need to add his information that much or that many times of record? This is called redundancy. Of course, there is, you learn in database, when you are learning a database, you learn something called formalization. First normalization form, second normalization form, third normalization form, and fourth normalization form. You already studied this. Okay, so today we are going to learn how we are creating our database using Visual Studio, and how we are connecting our database to the our application. How we are going to create a database in a database? Do you remember a database in Visual Studio? Do you remember in a class we have already created? Not this one. Just we have already created this suite program. Do you remember this? In chapter 1, we learned how we are creating this, and we would input enter admin and password 1 2 3 4 5. When we are login, we just send us to the second form. You already remember this, but in this form, we have used just a fixed or predefined value for admin and predefined value for password. Is this a good way for protecting or for saving information or protecting our application? Of course not. Why? Because a user can change his password. In this way, he cannot change his password unless the programmer came and recompile the software again and again. So is practically, is it working fine? No. So let's now learn how we are going to create a database, and we will create a users of this database, and then we'll create a password for each user, and then in these tables, we are going to connect that database to our server. How we are creating our database? We will go to View. In View, SQL Server Object Explorer. You will see here that is SQL Server Explorer. In this server, when you open that server, you will find databases is there. Just right click and add new database. When you remember, when you are creating your database, just create a database without space. So I will name it here. For example, this is student DB or database. I will name it. And where we are going to store this, it is a prefer to store it in a program itself. Where is your program is? My program is, I put it in desktop. Let me see here. In desktop, this is a chapter 1, practice. So I will create here a new folder just for organized things. A new folder, I will name this folder database. So easy for me later on to know where I kept my things. So this is my database name, and I will say okay. That's it. So it is just a 4-step. Step 1, show the SQL server. Just write down these steps. Write view, show SQL server object. Under the local server, just right click to the database, add new database. 3, give a name for this database. This is how we are creating a database in Visual Studio. Now let me just create a table. If you open this database, you will find out a lot of tables or a lot of folders here. One of them is just a tables, fuse, synchronize, program, storage, security. All this is actually a database management system, a DBMS, which is manage this database and manage all other databases if there's any database. So in this database, I am going to create a new folder for login. So we are going to create a folder for login. This folder is, I will name it a user ID. This is just, let we take how we are creating, just see here. New, add a new table. This table, you already knows what is create table, table name, and so on, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So now what we need actually, we need a username, because that is what we are going to use it in our design. We need a login ID and a password, isn't it? Okay, so I am going to use username. Okay, so what kind of data type is there? There's a many data types we need to use in Varchar. In Varchar, this type is just supporting Arabic. So the number which is here is just, this is a size of the text. That means how many characters can be stored in this. We can store up to 50 characters. If we want more, we can add more. But 50 is more than enough. I will go for 20. So 20 is more than enough for a username. So now a password also. Password is another field. Also, it is what? It is a Varchar. So this is, I will put it as a 50. I need to allow the user to create a table. So when you finish this, just you need to come here and change this table to your table name. So what I will go to how can I will change this? Just by writing my new table name. So I will add it as a login. So now this field, if I go for this preparatives, see here, see this field, I want this field, it is a primary key, but I want this field as auto number. I want to create a numbers automatically. I will let IDE to create this for me automatically. How we are going to do that? If you see here, when you just click this, properties will be there. So go for identity and identity specifications. In this, just select, is it identity? Say yes, true. So it will increase each time by 1, and it will start from 1. So the first record will be started from 1, and identity, it will be increased by 1. When you finish this, when you just click this here, again you can change the any specification for this table. But we don't want to do anything anymore. Just I will go for update. Wait for updating. Then if you see here, update database, say yes, update database, and wait, it will finish for you. So once it's finished, you will see a new table here in your database. If you just close this, if we see here, this is our table. How we can add data in this table? Now we are going to add one data. It's manually. So just right click and we say view data. Okay, in view data, if you see here, all data are null now. If I just create, my username is admin and password is 123. See now, when I click, ID is coming automatically. Started from 1. So another user is, I will say user 1, and his password is 1234, and so on. So I can create that many number of users to add it to my database. Okay, so once we create this, I will now close this, and just I need to connect this to my database. Now in place of creating a predefined values, I'm going to connect this to my database. How we are connecting to database? In C#, we need actually 3 things. What are those? First, so I will just give it one by one. First, I need path to database. Second, I need someone to send my request to database. 3, I need a place to get a response from database. So I need these 3 things. First, I need where is my database is, in which server, is it in my local server or it is in somewhere else. Second, I need to send someone or somebody or some tools, of course there's no person, some tools or some functions to do me this task to send my order to database and get a response from database. Third one is just to get to place this record in my application. So now let we check how we can create or how we can connect our database. We have something called MySQL client. We are as a client of our server, is it? So since we are a client, we need to import one file which is called using system.data.sql client. So I need to get this file because I need to connect to database. So I need this one to connect to database in SQL Server. So this is an SQL Server. So now, once I create this, I need to create a connection. So what is a connection is? Connection is nothing but I need to get a connection for this one, a path of my database. I need to connect my database first, then I will send someone to to go to database. But when I send him, I should tell him where to go, to which path. Okay, so that's called SQL connection. SQL connection, I will name it CN, that is a connection. Okay, equal to, you remember, new SQL connection. But what kind of connection do I need? Do I need to send what? A connection string, or I need a connection string and criteria? So what should I need to do? I need to tell where is my database in. If I came here and just go prepare this for this database, I will see here where is my database is a connection string. This is what I need. So this connection string, this database tell me, if you want to use me, just go to this connection string. If you want to connect me, so I will copy this from home, shift N. So I just copy this and add it to my connection. Control V, sorry, and that's it. I'm going to put it in, but if you see here I got error, that is because of backslash. So backslash give me error, so I will add something called at. What's mean at here? What at is working for? At will give me an indicator, or it will give the SQL C# indicate that I need this text exactly as it. I don't want you to change or to recompile a special meaning of all these things. I need it as a plain text as it. So I add at in the beginning. Okay? So now I got my connection, but I need someone to send him. What's this person is doing what? To do what? To give me some information. Do you remember that when you are connecting a database, previously when you are studying database, you are writing something like this? String, let me just create string SQL equal to select all from my table. What this table is? From login. Do you remember this? You already learned this before. Okay, from this table, my table name is what? My table name is login. So I will create, but I need a specific data. Is it? I need the username. That is what has been entered in text 1. So this, I will say, what is my table here actually? What is these columns? It's user name. So I will use where, this is a condition, where user name equal to what? Equal to, I should get it in somewhere. And also password, I have a password here. Okay, also it's equal to something. So what I should put here? It should what? It should give this text ID and this text password, is it? So I will close the text and then I will say, and if you see here, I just add this. What I need to add here? Text ID dot text. You already know this. And in password also, I will close the string here because I need to add a parameter. Plus, and then again I will open that one. In between, I will add text password dot text. You already remember this, is it? It is not a new for you. Okay, now I need to create the person who I sent. So this person is, we call him adapter. So that is SQL Data Adapter. So SQL Data Adapter, I will name it ADB, any name from your side. ADB equal new SQL Data Adapter. Okay, but this time what I want to send? I want to send the connection string, which is this order, and also I need to tell which connection, which database. My database is now available in this connection. So I will say, go to this SQL and take with you also my connection is, I name it CN. Okay, this adapter will go to database and check if this data is available there or not. If yes, so it will come back with that information. But I need something to store that data or that information in it. I will create something. This is the place where we are creating a database. So I said, what? Data table. I will name it DT equal to a new data table. That's it. Okay. Now, in this data table, what do I need to do actually? I need to do something which allows me to fill what I get it from this adapter into this data table. So here I will say, adapter, please fill what you get it from there and put it in my data table. That's it. This is, now we are completing a connection to database, fetching information from the database, and storing this information inside our table. Now, I want to check. Okay, I want to check if this table have any record, so it doesn't meet any table which is have the same data. If yes, I need to allows login, otherwise I need to give. So if what? If DT rows.count. So if there is any record available in this data table which is meet this statement, if yes, then do me what? Do me these things. So this part. So I need to do this part, which is I need to open a form 1. Else, so what should I know else? Else I need to do what? So this part I need to do message box. I will say for user, please don't do the we don't have else. So what is this else is doing? So it will do this for me. So this part now I don't need it. So I don't need this. I will remove it. So okay, now my table, after I finish this, okay, after I finish this, I need to close this connection. But also before this, I need to open that connection. See, in dot, I will have to open that connection. So I need to open this connection with my database. Second, when I finish this, I need to close that connection. Close, and also I need to destroy this connection, is dispose. I need to dispose that connection. So be sure that when you are opening your connection, at the end you need to close it. Otherwise, the database server will be sync. It's called syncing because many connection will come till it's the pool. There's a pool. It will full, and then your server will come down. Okay. So Control S. Now, if I run this code, let me see now. What if I put my username SSS or AAA and my password 12345, and I'm trying to log in? What I got? Wrong username or password. So let me check now. At the beginning, we have entering admin, and we enter in database 123 password. Is that? I think login. So you see, I got login. So now, what if you see here, what kind of data do I have here? If I view data, I have user 1, admin, user 1, his password is 1234. Admin, his password is 123. So now, let me just run my application again and check if my connection is happening. Just let me ask admin, and I will put password, a different password. I will put 1234. So this is supposed to be what? Not a correct password. So see, I got is the database will respond. There is no one have the username admin and the password 1234. What they have admin and password 123. So in this case, now we can add or delete or update in data. In next chapter, we're going to learn 1, 2, 3. We are going to learn how we are adding this information to the server side, to the database. So we need again to create a table for this. Okay, we already learned how to creating a table. We already learned how to connect our database to the server. How to connect our application to our database, and how we are reading value from database by using select star from, or select all, or select whatever you want from the database. So now, if you see here, after you are creating a database, it will send you to the form 2. In this form 2, I need to send this data to my database. Okay, if I click add or update or delete, I need to send this information to database. So first, I need to create a table. Okay, a table containing student ID, student name, and student major. Okay, so I need to add this information to my table. As I said in the beginning, we are going to create a table by right click after selecting our database. Under tables, we are click add new table. So this table, I will name it what? Students. Okay, so this ID, I need also a name. So this name, I will say invarker, but 50 is not enough, so I will use 150. And also major. So again, it is invarker. So this invarker is just, because it is just 3 letters or 4 letters, so I will use up to 5 letters will be good. Okay, or I will use up to 10 letters, is also more than enough, because that is my major is. Again, ID, I need to enter it my own. It's not by the system. I don't want system to add the ID. I need to create this ID my own self. So we are going to learn now how we are creating this ID. Okay, so now how we are going to, what we are going to do, we are going to update our table and then update our database. So if you see, we already updated, everything is okay. So now I got another table that is called, and we have 3 columns: ID, name, and major. Okay, so now again in this table we need to add, first we need to add this information to the same database. So we are going to create same steps. First, I am going to create SQL. So that is, but this time in add, I want to send to the database, not to bring from database. So I need someone to just push the data there, and that's it. Is that? So that is, we call it SQL command. If you see here now, I can't get anything of SQL. Why? Because I need to import the file of database, which is using system.data.SQL client. So first I need to add this file. So now I can use SQL connection. If you see, cn or con equal to new what? SQL connection. And this SQL connection is a same connection that I already use it here. It is totally same. So I will take this line as it. Control C, and then I'm coming here and I will say, okay, that's it. This is my connection. Now I need to send the data, so I have SQL command. SQL command, I will say cmd equal to new SQL command. What is the command that I want to send? Okay, semicolon. So just keep that. In SQL string, I will use string SQL equal to, this time, do you remember insert into? insert into my table. What is my table here? Students. What I need to input, actually, I need to input all values, so no need to give anything. Values, I need to add these values. What is these values is? First is, if you see here, I have three values, is it? This is the first one, second one, and the third one. You know that first one is just, if you see here, first one is ID. ID is integer. So integer, I am not going to use a double quotation. I will send value as it. Second one is double quotation because it is a string, and third one also is just a double quotation because it is a string. So again, I need to add here these values. I need to add it here first. I will stop this, plus plus. I will open it again. Here I need to add text. Let me check what is my, this is a form 2. What is this is? It's called text box 1. So I will change the name to text ID. Text ID, and this is text name. Text name, and this is what? Combo box, which is a CMB major. Okay? CMB major. So that is 3 data. So now I will say text ID dot text, and second one here, again I am going to close this and just plus plus open again. So I will say here text what? Text name dot text. And finally, in the third one, again I'm going to close plus plus because I need to add something here. So this is, see here, combo major dot selected item, or sorry, selected value. Selected value. So that is mean because it is what we are going to select from this combo box. Okay? So now I'm going to send this to the database. So this is the command SQL, and then I will say which connection you are going to use. So again, you are going to use a same connection. So here I need to open the database, cn dot open. That's it. And by the end, I need to give a message box dot show record added semicolon, and then cn dot close and cn dot dispose, exactly as we did in the beginning. So here, if you see now, if you see this, we just need to these few lines. Connect to the database, create a SQL statement, and then send that SQL command to SQL server. And give the information to the user, that is his record is added successfully. So if we run this now, just sorry, if we run this, we will say our admin, or let me use this time user one, and password is 1234, is it? Yes, correct. So now in button add, I'm going to add my ID 16161. Okay, my name is Nasser Al-Musalhi, and my major is, just let me see, MIS, for example. So I will take and we said recorded or record added. Okay, close. So because button is not closed here, so let me just check if this data is came to my table or not. So let me check, is it correct now? Is it coming to our table? So view data. Do we get that information? No. There's something wrong? Yes, I know what the wrong is. The wrong is when I give that SQL, but I don't execute that SQL. So I need to cmd dot execute. I need to execute this query. So I create the query, but I don't execute the query. So I need to execute that query. أريد أنفذ هذا الأمر. ما بس أنشأت الأمر، لازم أنفذ الأمر. So I need to execute that query again. So let's repeat now and we see. Okay. See now, I use a user one. Okay, so I have now many number of users that can log into my system, not only one user. Okay, so this is 161612, and my name is Nasser Musalhi, and I will select my in my S, for example. When I create add, it say added. So let me check. Is that correct? Is it that data came to my database? Yes, I got it. But still, major is not there. So I need to read that information. Selected value. So that is because of I use a default one. So here we don't have item collection. So we have here just selected item we need to say. In place of selecting select value, I need to say selected item dot to string. I think like this I need to do. Okay, so let me check for the second person. Admin and password 123, login 123456, Muhammad and Muhammad Salim. Okay, and I will use CS add record added successfully. Just let me check my database now. Is that record is coming or not? Where that's view data. Yes, it came. It came as CS. Okay, so this is how we are just finishing this part, which is adding record. So I think update record is just a same thing. You need to change here. In place of insert, you need to use update record. Set, and you need to create a confirmation. That is, you need to check how you are updating record. Delete record, that means again you need to do the same. Here you need to, in place of insert into, delete into. So I will just do one thing for you here. Just copy this and let me just update it. So I will update my table. The same thing in the same way. In place of insert, I will say update student set. Set what? First, ID should not be changed because I don't want user to change this ID. So what should I change? I change the either name or major. So I will say set name equal to all this. Okay, and here I need to also major equal to, but for which record they are going to change? For which record they have to change actually? They have to change for record. So I have to give where, okay, ID equal to, which is text plus text ID dot text. Because if I give it without, it will change whole records. If I have thousands records in my table, whole of them they will be affected. But I don't want this to be affected. If you see here, I don't want this record to be affected. unless I am the one who is just changing that record, a specific record. Okay, so let me check now. So record updated. Do you remember my measure is, just let me copy from here. Sorry, just me view this data and let me copy this ID, because this one what I need to change it. Copy. Okay, so just close this and run our application and see ID admin and password 123. It's okay, everything is okay. So I need this ID to be changed from Nasser Al-Musalhi to Talib Al-Abri. Okay, so now Talib Al-Abri MIS, so I will put it as MIS. So just let update. Okay, and say update, record updated. So in record updated, just let me check here if this data is changed. Yes, you see now data has been changed for specific record. I think now everything is clear. You need to just delete, in third one, you need to delete this by just again copy and paste this data and say delete from. In place of add, I will say delete from student. Why? I don't want to send any data. I just need to send only. I need to send only the condition, because I don't want to delete everything from table. I need to delete only the one who meet my ID. Okay, so let me just create someone here or check my data right now. So I have 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so let me just check for this one if we are deleting admin 1 2 3 login. Now let me check 1 2 3 4 5 6. Is it? I will say delete. It's say because I don't change that updates. Okay, just let me check now if the record has been changed or not. If you see, record has been deleted. I hope this is everything for add, delete, update. Only one topic is remaining, that is what is actually Gridview, data Gridview. Basically, it's used to display the data what we have it in our table. So just I will use that here in the same record, in the same table, the same form. I will just increase this form, and then I will add that from toolbox. We may search for Gridview. So I will put this Gridview here. Okay, I will put this Gridview here and just put it like this. It's okay. So now, once I add this, I need, when this form is loading, I need this information to be shown here. So I am going to create a function for that. If you see here, this is a form load. In a form load, I need to call that function while I am changing or updating. So I will create private, okay, private void. I don't want this to return anything. Let me say this is just show data. So in this show data, what we did in login, we did the same thing up to here, is it? Up to this table. Is that true? So just copy this. Copy this and put it here. Okay? So now, from where I want this data to be displayed, I want data to be displayed from my table, which is students, from students. But I need all the information without any criteria. So I will say, once it's finished, data table is created. So just put that data table to my Gridview. What is my Gridview is? Name is data Gridview 1. You see here, the name is data Gridview 1. So I will say data Gridview 1 dot data source from where it will come equal to data table, semicolon. Okay, and then data Gridview dot refresh or bind data, I think. Bind, no, data bind, no, just refresh. That is what we need, semicolon. That is what we need. If you see now, this Gridview, once we run this program, still will not see anything. If I say admin and password is 123, so still I don't get anything here. I should get that a record which is talib name. That is why, because I don't call this function. Yes, I create this function, but I don't call it. When I need to call this function, I need to call this function on, Control Z. So in form load. How I'm going to form load? You can double click in any free place here in your form. Just double click. So double click and you will get a form load. So I will say once you load, just call this function show data, semicolon. This function, it will be called and it will connect to database, and finally, yes, I opened the database here, I need to close it. cn dot close and also cn dot dispose to destroy the connection. So see now what will happen once I just log into my database, admin 123 login. So I got that data now here. Now what if I add a new record from my table? So if I add a record, for example 112233, who is this? Just Muhammad, okay, Saeed, and then Muhammad Saeed is a computer science, and it say record added, but still it's not shown in my table. Why? Because after the, now if I call this, I open this again, I will get that 1 2 3, I will get that record, it's here available. So just what I need to show this, after adding again I need to call this function one more time. So after adding, okay, this is the button add. So after add, I will just call show data. Again, I will call this function. So in all tables or if I update, again, I will call this function. If I delete, again, I will call this function. Okay, Control S. If we see now, what will happen to our, okay, login. See now, if I just add one more, 1 2 4 5 7, and I think who is name Iman S Salam, I don't know. So let's just consider any name. That it doesn't mean that is a real name. Any name from you. Okay. So and add. If you see record added, record automatically came to my table. And again, if I update this from Iman Salam to Khamis Khalfan, so and his CS from IST2 to MIS, and I will say update, again record will be updated and it will show here the new values. By this, we are closing at chapter 4. And wish you good luck. Please keep practicing and continue doing your task. Thank you for your attention and see you again. Goodbye.